welcome to the new video sessions. In today's video session, we will be talking about the most trend topic in academia, especially for the student, the student of electrical engineering, the student of computer system engineering, the student of electronic engineering. So, the Internet of Things. In our daily lives, in our daily life, we have experienced many things, and that thing is connected to the internet. We have seen nowadays in market many smart devices. Uh, so the most important capability of their devices is that they are connected to the internet, and that what we call them as smart devices. So we have seen the higher brushes, the scales, and consumer and industrial devices are having chips inserted into them to collect and communicate data. So we have seen many of the smart things in the market, in industry. Nowadays there we have seen the smart home automations. So that is one of the few examples that we have seen. uh, if we have seen around, if we check around our daily routine, that we will be experiencing some devices nowadays, especially nowadays in 2023. We have seen many smart devices, a smart toasters, connected rectal thermometer, and a fitness collar for dogs, and are just some of the everyday dumb items being connected to the web as a part of Internet of Things, IoT, what we call IoT. And also, if you ask some engineering students, they will heard this word, the fourth industrial evolution, Industry 4.0. So, in why we call it, the Industry 4.0 or fourth industrial revolutions, because many of machines and devices in that industries are connected to the internet that communicate data with each other, and they talk with each other. So that connected machines and objects in factories offer the potential for a fourth industrial revolutions, and experts predict that more than half of the new business will run on the IoT by 2020. So nowadays we have seen in 2023 that the smart devices in market, industry, and even in our homes, we have seen many of the smart devices that are connected to the internet. So that, what is this? This is IoT, Internet of Things. So we will explain more about IoT in the next slides. That's some of the I have given this display to you people, so that you have to have a concept of fourth industrial revolutions, that how the our industry is being converted to these smart devices, and many robotic arm and robotic robots, and also especially if you have heard about the Amazon warehouse robot, they all operated remotely through internet. And what is internet? Internet is the combination of networks, and we have connected devices to that networks that communicate data with each other, and they talk with each other. Why? So in the coming next slides, we will see that uh, why we need to communicate data. IoT encompasses everything connected to the internet, but it's increasingly being used to define objects that talk to each other. Simply, the Internet of Things is made of devices from simple sensor to smartphones and wearables. And you know, all that thing that connected to internet, they mostly, we transfer data, informations, and we process that informations, analyze it, and create some actions. and why we need to take action on this information, on this data. Because if you have experience that everything that we use, especially some smart devices in your home, in your industry and factory, they're directly related with the physical world. It means that IoT have applications that we need to connect their devices to internet and communicate and with the more people's in faster rate, so that we have fast rate of productivity in a factory in industry that we call what we call the industry 4.0, uh, fourth industrial revolutions. It's all about networks, it's about devices, it's about data. The IoT is what the Internet of Things we define in this internet. The internet is a combination of networks, and we connect things. By things we mean devices. And why we need to connect the devices? Why we need? Because we have to communicate data through data and get some information and transfer some informations. And there are some, the digital infrastructure that we build, the cloud we build, the digital is a framework for connecting the digital and the physical world. If I have seen some smart devices, like if I give you one example, that we have some, the temperature monitor system. I have a simple temperature monitoring system, and I have deployed that sensor in some area in our home where the temperature need to be optimized, need to be, adjusted. And I also want to monitor and gather that temperature data from a remote area. For that reason, because I will not available every time at home and at that place where the temperature sensors deployed. So for that reason, I will connect that temperature sensor monitoring device to the internet, so that I can get that data of this temperature sensor on web. That temperature sensor data uh, will be published on the web through internet, and I will get monitor that temperature from remote area. So it's one of the small application of the IoT, and that, I'm the physical world, and the room and the region where we monitoring the system is the physical world, and the internet and devices that connected is a digital world, and they transfer data. So this that is the digital infrastructure is the framework for connecting digital and the physical world. So the question arises when we are talking about IoT. So why do connected devices need to share data? Something can be connected to the internet doesn't mean it should be, but each devices collect data for a specific purpose that may be useful to a buyer and impact the wider economy. So with the increase of smart devices, AI, and the fourth revolution, industrial revolution, industry 4.0, make it necessary for the buyer, for the consumer, and also the industrialist, that they have to implemented the smart devices, the IoT in their workspaces in industry and factories. So, the question is, why do the devices need to share data? With an industrial application, sensor and product lines can increase efficiency and cut down on waste. The manual operation in industry, the more mechanical framework, the system are no remain not remain more reliable. We need an efficient system, so that we cannot waste our money, our products. And we need a precise and an efficient system. For that, we need some smart devices that can monitor and control that industrial operations and in real times, with the minimal time, and control in a faster rate. So the study estimates that 35% of US manufacturers are using data from smart sensor within their setups already. US firm Construit Sensor has created a device that can be inserted into Construit to provide data on the material conditions. For instance, we have different examples. IoT offers us opportunity to be more efficient in how we do things, saving us time, money, and often emission in the process. So the goal is of every engineering applications, because and the main target of every engineering application is that we either to save us our time, save us our money, and often we have some natural gases emissions and the environment, so to control and save that environment around us. So that is one of the also the target of IoT, the Internet of Things. So if we see that IoT have increased their applications in the future, and that technology is increased already. And so where does the IoT go next? That is one of the questions we have to consider. Security, if you transfer the data and informations, some informations, personal informations, your bank accounts, your other critical data in industries. Uh, Imagine if that devices are connected in the power plants. So, and someone hack that power plants, and that's one of the very fatal accident can be occur because of if someone hack the power plants using that IoT devices, because if that plants already deployed, or you implemented the IoT devices for their security data and transmission informations, then it will be very a very critical situation if someone hack the data, the information transferring in that power plant, in that industries. Also, if I use some smart devices, in my home, and I connected some my personal informations, and that data and information transferring, and the security of that data and informations is to be concerned if you are using the IoT devices. So security is one of the main concern. If someone if you check the negative side of IoT devices, then that is security. So there are significant security issues that need to be addressed. If you have smart home products, light bulbs, switches, and motion sensor, then the security of these devices have to be concerned. And but there are every engineering application, science applications, they have the pros and cons, the advantages and disadvantages. If you consider simple a weapon, and that weapon uh, you know also used in a good way, also used in a bad way. This is one of the application of weapon is the application of the engineering. But the government, the other institutions have rules and law for everything, uh, that so it's necessary for the government and uh, the other regulations institution that have the the authority to implement rules and law for that IoT devices. Nowadays the AI have already covered our whole application area. So it's important that we have some alternative way for solution of its security. And so a report from Samsung said the need to secure every connected devices by 2020 is critical. The firm's open economy document says that there is a very clear danger that technology is running ahead of the gap. More than 7.3 billion devices will need to be made secure by the manufacturer before 2024. Yeah, it's very important to be secure it. So it's very dangerous if your data informations and the communication is interrupted in during transmissions and someone hack and you can lose everything. If you look at the future in which companies will will indulge in the digital Darwinisms using IoT, AI, and machine learning to rapidly enroll in a way we never seen before. Everything that is connected to the internet can be hacked. IoT products are no exception to this unwritten rule. Insecure IoT systems lead to toy manufacturer attack losing videos and picture of children using its connected devices. So there is one of the example of the one of the tech where that manufacture the children toys and that we check because of its security. They lose videos and picture of children using its connected devices. What I mean by connected devices? That connected devices, IoT devices. They connected to the internet on some other networks. So it is they lose that videos and pictures. So the consequences of that losing of that information is that the parents ought to boycott we tech toys after. That's very fatal. That's very dangerous for the that manufacturer industry. That the consumer will not more accept your devices because if you do not have consider the security of the device, you have to if you manufacture something some IoT devices, you need to be considered the security and what kind of software you have used and what is the security of that software, that devices. There are also the issue of surveillance. If every product becomes connected, then there is the potential for unbridled observation of users. If connected fridge tracks food usage and consumptions, takeaway should be targeted at hungry people who have no food. If a smart watch can detect when you are having sex, uh, what is to stop people with that data using it against the watches? There, at the center of the creating a very reliable IoT networks lies on significant issues. Compatible standards, connected objects need to be able to speak to each other, to transfer data, share what they are recording. If they all run on different standards, they struggle to communicate and share. The Institute of Electrical and Electronic Standards Association lists a huge number of standards being developed and worked on for the different applications. To try and tackle this issue, on an enterprise scale, Microsoft have introduced its own system for IoT devices called IoT Central. The TechCrunch reports the system gives a business a managed central platform for setting of IoT devices. Microsoft claimed the system will simply the creation of IoT networks. So thank you. That is one of the to the various sections. I introduce you people. This the video is for the students, especially those who are new to the electrical, electronic, and computer system engineering. Then this topic will come in their path in their academics uh, in academics journey. So thank you for stay with me in these whole sessions, and we will be joining soon in the next session.